I've always sort of been on the outskirts of the mainstream music narrative as an independent artist, but I've had my connections, but the more I started speaking out through my music this year, it seemed that those people would pull away and distance themselves from me, or just cut ties altogether.
There's something strange happening in the music industry these days. Many are taking note of weird satanic imagery that's become more prevalent with the music. That's nothing new, of course. It's been happening since the 80s.
That ain't a bad place to be.
But when that's coupled with a symbolic portal to hell on stage with an artist seemingly ignoring the deaths of audience members, people start to wonder why the heavy push for the symbolism. Promotional materials, stage props, everything seems to be included. Well, this could just be a lack of imagination for painfully generic artists. At the same time, openly opposing artists are climbing the ladder.
In your eyes, these politicians are demons just in disguise.
Let's Go Brandon by Bryson Gray topped the charts over Adele and Ed Sheeran. He's unapologetically Christian. 5 million views on a Tom MacDonald music video is a slow day for him. All of this without any mainstream radio or TV airtime.
Power lately than the First Amendment. If you don't like it, leave. We will not defund police. We don't want no riots in our neighborhoods or in the streets. We respect freedom of speech. We protect what we believe. We don't want nobody dead, so please do not tread on me.
What has the mainstream media done to these recording artists? Why, they've ignored them, of course. You're free to dress up as the devil or give him a lap dance, pretend to kill Donald Trump or promote gang violence. That's just supposed to be art. And in my opinion, it is too. But for some reason, if someone doesn't like Joe Biden or doesn't agree with everyone being a white supremacist, it's no longer art and it should be taken down. So is the music industry more politically and ideologically motivated than we think? To answer that question is Bradley Skistimus, who goes by 5 times August. Bradley, thanks for joining me. Now, I've seen you as somebody who's on both sides, I feel like. You were in all the magazines, Billboard, featured in Walmart before. Now you've got songs criticizing Tony Fauci and social media platforms. Has the treatment you've received from the industry changed at all since you've been making this music?
Yeah, I mean, I've had, my network of people I've worked with over the last 2 decades in the music industry. I've always sort of been on the outskirts of the mainstream music narrative as an independent artist, but I've had my connections, but the more I started speaking out through my music this year, it seemed that those people would pull away and distance themselves from me, or just cut ties altogether, for sure.
Yeah, and don't be coy with the audience. You were featured in Walmart as an independent artist, a guitar magazine, I think, I'm not mistaken, Billboard.com. All these people were celebrating you as an independent artist. And what I want to ask you is, are the MTVs and the Live Nations this politically motivated in this day and age? Like, you got Bryson Gray #1 on iTunes, charting on Billboard. You guys could be selling out concerts tomorrow if they chose to promote you this way. Are they so biased that they're shutting off revenue streams?
I think they are. I think you have a lot of people in the machine, so to speak. You've got managers, lawyers, PR agents, and then the artists. And I think a lot of artists are holding back from speaking up because they have a machine behind them. Now, I don't know why they would cut off revenue streams, because I think a lot less people are going to be going to concerts because of vax passports and mask requirements and things like that. So it's kind of mind-boggling to me when music's supposed to be bringing us all together. It's supposed to be a uniting experience to go to a concert, not segregate the audience, not push anybody out. But that seems to be what the case is nowadays.
Now, where do you see all the other musicians in this sort of ordeal? Why aren't they standing up for speech, medical freedom? I remember back in the day, Eminem and Marilyn Manson were being blamed for school shootings.
No, I think that I've been blamed for about 36 school shootings.
Bono and Elton John stood up for them. Is this the industry being just painfully politically correct now, do you think?
Yeah, I think it's sort of a snake eating its own tail thing. It's really become like an inverted version of itself. For me, I said I've always sort of been on the outskirts. I never would have considered myself any sort of rock and roll rebel, but as a straight white guy, family man, no tattoos, was never into drugs, never caused trouble, always sort of sat in the middle on everything, trying to please everybody. I'm now the dangerous rebel of the music industry. And all of those other guys that you just mentioned, Eminem, Rage Against the Machine, they're all sort of honing in on the corporate sellout thing that they were supposed to be against all those years back.
We're raging really with the machine now. An open communist band against the machine. Right. Who knew? Last question to you. Where do you see the industry moving head forward? Like I mentioned, your views are off the charts. Tom McDonald, Bryson Gray, all these people, all these artists doing it without the machine behind them. Do you think this is them sort of holding on to their last grasp of control here? If they can't control Billboard and iTunes, what do they really have left to control?
Right. Yeah, I think independence is the way to go. I've been independent for 2 decades now, and I've watched it sort of reach this point. Tom McDonald is knocking it out of the park. Bryson Gray's knocking it out of the park. There's a lot of great guys out there doing it on their own. Nobody can control them. And, I think the fans of these guys, my fans, you've got control now, and they're pushing this wave forward, changing the narrative, changing the culture. I think that that's the future of the industry. I think they're doing what they can right now to suppress that. I mean, we're seeing it with YouTube censorship and music videos getting taken down. I've dealt with that. You're seeing it with Apple Music sales. You're seeing it all over the place. What gets covered in the media, what Rolling Stone magazine will cover, what Billboard will cover, what kind of Grammys get voted on. It's every single corner, and I think they're just sort of killing themselves in the name of diversity, which is ironic. But I think that the independent artists are going to move ahead and start changing the conversation for sure.
5 times August. Go listen before it's taken down for medical information, you guys. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you like what you heard, of course you did, check out my show every Thursday night on rebelnewsplus.com. It has my name in it.